Maybe Vader time's over. I ain't nothing but a big piece of shit. A big fat piece of shit.
There it is! Welcome, everyone, to Juice Pro Wrestling, episode 13.
Crystal clean, no caffeine.
Oh, and you know we're so obscene.
Obscene and in between.
I'd like to welcome and thank my very special guest today, a fellow brother in the Green Door Network. Fight the good fight! Joey Kane up in this mother, or Joey Whitelegs.
Joey Whitelegs, a.k.a. Joey Kane, a.k.a. Joey Critical. I got like...
He's like Mick Foley, the man of three faces.
I'm like Wu-Tang. I have like 10 different aliases.
That's all right, because I got like 15. Tonight you're talking to Juice the Anvil Neidhart.
Damn.
Damn. Used to be formerly known as Big Juice Stud.
Big Juice. I like Big Juice.
It is powerful, you know?
Yeah, it's good.
Joe has if you all aren't aware, he has a podcast on the Green Door Network called Musically Meditated, which is a music discovery podcast that I've taken part in. And, you know, we kind of like to do the hostile crossovers because fuck Allen Iverson. He ain't got game on us.
He got game, though, when he crossed over Jordan that one time.
He got game when he hit the pipe. Remember when he first came into the league and like Barkley was wanting to kick his ass because he's like a little shit-talking gangbanger?
Yeah, but Allen was a tough dude.
You know.
Right on.
Whatever.
Right on. Killer crossover, like you said. You've been on, how many episodes of Musically Meditated? 3?
3, I think.
I think so, yeah.
3.
Right? It's been at least 3.
Maybe.
3.
Now, how many have I been mentioned on?
Like every one?
2.
There we go. 2. Fucking Sretton the Savage over here. If you guys didn't know, Sretton's ready to go.
I only have one nickname.
Shook Shret.
Shook Sret. Hey, don't threaten him with a good time.
Yeah, because he'll put you in your place. And don't get it twisted. Those handsome smiles and those grins, he is a thug at heart.
Yeah, those smiles will defile.
Yeah. I am a backstabber.
Low life. Time to step up to the plate.
He's my fellow Taurus. We're born on the same day, May 15th.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
And I also use the low blow every chance I get.
Yeah, because the low blow, what? It does what? The low blow does what?
It always works.
It always fucking works. Anyway, I want to start this week off. This is episode 13. Thank you all for joining in and downloading and subscribing on multiple podcast platforms and YouTube. And if you don't, what the fuck is your problem? Yeah. I'm going to send this RIP, rest in power, to Leon White, a.k.a. Big Van Vader, who passed away this week. I was a big fan of Vader growing up. He was probably, in my opinion, one of, if not the best big men ever. As a kid, he was fucking really intimidating. He'd come out like with they had this in WCW, a huge mastodon like fucking mask, like shoulder pads and shit built, and he would walk out with that shit on, and he'd pull it off, and it would just like be blowing smoke out the nostrils and shit, and it was just like, and you saw this big motherfucker, just huge as shit, and he looked like a monster, and he was legit.
He always had that like ex-football offensive lineman,
right?
Biker guy
right.
That'll kick your ass.
Yeah, and he was a big man as far as, you know, he had a huge
size. What was his size? Do you know off the top of your head? Like,
what kind of size are we talking about here?
You know, like height and weight. You know, that manly size.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you he was born May 14th in 1955.
Hey, look at that. He's a Taurus, like just like Sretton and I.
Yeah. There you go.
I bet you he was like what, 6'3", 350.
Oh man, Vader had to be close. Oh, here we go. Build height was 6'5".
Ooh.
450.
Holy shit! That's
now,
a big
and
guy.
if you guys remember, and he debuted in 1985. If I don't know if any of you guys remember, actually, you ever watch any Vader matches?
Top row backwards somersault.
Yes, for a guy who's 450 to be doing that shit.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was really cool. Vader, like growing up, he was like, and he was a great heel. I remember early packages they put together in WCW with him versus Sting for the world title. It was a lot of like WWF hokey pokey like entertainment shit where they do like kind of like they do now a little, where it's too movie like scripted, you know. And they did this thing where he's like in the fucking Fortress of Solitude. It almost looked like it was like this land of ice, and he was the world champion. He was going to face Sting for the title. And I just remember a huge build up to that, and it was really cool. And I just got through watching a bunch of tribute videos because obviously since he's gone now, everybody's fucking pulling him out the woodwork. But there were a lot of moments that I had never seen where, I mean, Vader always was kind of a little stiff in the ring, but he always a great worker. From what I've heard about many of people, he didn't take liberties unless he felt like you were doing something with him in the ring.
6'5" or 6'5", what was it? 450. You're gonna be a little stiff in the ring.
And you're gonna do whatever the fuck you want if someone tries to cross you. But watching this compilation video, one of his moves that he would do all the time was like a belly to back suplex on a guy, and I've seen so many dudes just dropped right on their fucking neck, like in their spine, like damage your fucking spine. And one of the instances I was telling Joe, I was telling you guys earlier, it was in WWF during the Attitude Era, and he was fighting Ken Shamrock. And Shamrock's got him pinned up in the corner, and he's throwing his punches and whatever, and he's throwing a little stiff, and you could see Vader kind of saying, hey, lighten up a bit. And Shamrock keeps it coming. Well, then Vader just throws one fucking punch, dude, one blow of the head. Shamrock goes down. You could see it in his eyes, dude. He was out. Right. He was rocked, So, like, a guy like that, if you guys go on Google and Google, like, Vader, fucking, what do you call those?
YouTube?
Yeah, but when they put montages or whatever,
Internet?
Yeah.
Do you call it the YouTube?
Hey, Andre, what do you call it?
Internet.
Damn, even Andre knows, and my dumbass.
You fool.
Right, quick though, to like back to that Ken Shamrock story.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was a bad dude, right?
He was the baddest man in the world, supposedly.
across the whole even MMA or wrestling and whatnot.
At one point, he was the most dangerous man in the world, is what they call
But this is what I'm getting at. When people say size ain't shit, actually it is. Because you can be the baddest
Bushwick
dude.
Bill says size ain't shit.
But...
Hey, lifting weights will make you bigger, but lift me, you'll be a dead ass.
Yeah, you could connect the
Explicitly deleted.
But at any rate, if you're 450, 6'5",
impose your will, dude. Who's going to move you? I don't care if you're some dude with all the muscle and cut in the world.
No.
You come
And all
across
you had to
that
do was hit
hillbilly
him
street.
once, too.
Yeah.
So size does matter.
Yeah.
Size means shit. That's why I don't mess with Stretton over here.
I know.
We can't mess with him.
So yeah, it's sad to hear, Vader's dead, a heart failure and pneumonia. He had just, his health had been declining in the last year. He had major heart surgery, and everything seemed to go well. He was expected to die months ago.
Yeah.
And
little history too. He had an alcohol abuse problem, and then he went through a divorce, and that divorce
enhanced his talents.
No, it inspired him to quit drinking.
Really?
So yeah, then he got a knee replacement, and then when that happened, he was in a coma actually for 33 days, and he lost 112 pounds.
Well, you're 450 or whatever. You got something to spare. You got a little bit to give away.
But I'm just saying, like, so he put his body through a lot of aches and pains by wrestling, and wasn't he a football player before?
Oh yeah. For the Rams, and actually he was. Let me get this here. I just had this pulled up. Funny you should say that. And there's actually quite a bit, and we can go into detail on that. Maybe that's a future episode of pro wrestlers that actually started off as NFL players. 1978 NFL draft. He went out and he was picked number 80 in round 3.
Wow, that's impressive. Who got him? The LA Rams, you said?
Yep, the Rams got him. He played for them for 1 year. Career highlights were second-team All-American in 77. High school, he went to Bell in L.A.
Oh, so he's from L.A. too?
Yeah, college is Colorado. And then I remember they used to always book him like from the Smoky Mountains. Big Vader.
I always loved his mask, and I remember the V that he would do with his hand. Like, there was just something awesome about it.
Yeah, I could never do that as a kid.
I could do it on my right hand, but I can't do it
I could do them both now. You know how I got that? I fucking duct taped my hands together
so
like that.
weird.
I shit you not, dude. It went for like a week. And I was like, I got to do the Vader shit because it looks badass.
Let me call you out real quick.
I had his toy.
What year did you do that? What did it happen to be about the time that Ninja Turtles came out?
Oh, it was probably,
puppets, And the puppets had 3 fingers. And it would look like, obviously, a human.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not for Ninja Turtles.
He did
Trust
it for
me.
Ninja Turtles,
Get
not
the
for Vader.
fuck out of here.
He did it for Vader.
Get the fuck out.
He did it for
Ninja Turtles. I did like Ninja Turtles.
Who's Vader?
Oh, man. Threaten.
Which Ninja Turtle's your favorite?
Raphael.
See, I knew it.
Splinter! Splinter!
We're gonna have to put him in a legal chokehold with this.
We were talking about size matters, and here he goes. You know, he's kind of pushing his weight now. You can't take on both of us.
Sometimes I have questions.
No. Yeah, you can't handle that. We don't keep counts,
Yeah,
man.
we don't keep count. But yeah, that's crazy that he was a football player. I mean,
Yeah.
and obviously he was a humongous dude. What does it say? What position?
Let's see.
It
It
has
says he
the
was a nationally ranked center.
So he
He was recruited by 40 colleges. He played offensive line at the University of Colorado, where he's a second-team All-American for the Buffaloes.
wow.
He earned a business administration degree. In the 78 draft, White was drafted as a center by the Rams with the 24th pick of the third round, 80th overall.
Wow. Yeah. So he wasn't a dummy either. Look, he had that business
Yeah.
sense. That business.
That benzo.
sav. That
Dopest,
benzo. That benzo flow.
Yeah, he got the bands. It says during his first season, he was put on the injured reserve list. Little Jimmy Valmer for you guys. Anybody out there listening that likes and worships South Park like I do, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he played in Super Bowl. What is XIV?
I don't know. Stratton. We're
What is
both
that? You're a
looking at
Roman
him.
numeral guy. I'm a
Yeah.
guy that's RVD 420'd right now.
I have no idea.
Really?
X 14 or 15?
Well, if he was on
Wait,
the
that's because X is what,
Yeah.
10, 11? That's 15 or 16.
4, 1,
That's
14,
it's 16.
10
it's 16.
plus 1
Help us out, Elise.
plus 5, 4.
X is 10. V no.
Super Bowl
what it
14.
said.
No. Is it?
14.
Eh.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
what I said.
okay, maybe she's right.
It's like
We're fucking
1980.
dumb here on
It's
JP Dub.
1980. I know that the Rams. I don't remember if they won that year, but
Well, this is interesting though. I had no idea, but he his second season he played in that Super Bowl against. Fuck the Steelers. He was forced to retire after only a couple seasons though, due to a ruptured patella.
ooh, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
kneecap.
Yep, that'll fuck you up. So, long story short, after that, Vader,
I know my knee injuries.
right, went to the AWA, which a plethora of fucking who's who of wrestlers were in the AWA, the American Wrestling Association, which was ran by Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne, my God! And after that, 86 to 91, he went to Catch Wrestling Association. Don't know too much about that. The CWA. That sounds like a shitty like UPN Power 50 thing, like
Yeah.
suburbs in Chicago, poor neighborhoods. We got the CWA. We ain't got HBO.
We don't keep count. We're the
We-
WDKC.
Yeah, yeah, and the HBT motherfuckers.
That's right.
And then from there, he went to one of my favorite promotions, one of the best in the biz today, New Japan Pro Wrestling, from 87 to 92.
Damn.
Vader actually was a former world champion, IWGP heavyweight champion there.
How long ago did New Japan get established as a
I think New Japan's been around since the 70s, I believe, like 76 or 70, maybe it was 72. Anywhere. What do you guys, Ken Kniff at me? Like musically meditate, trying to invade my personal space.
Getting
and
real
then
close.
from there, he went to the UWA, the Universal Wrestling Association, from 89 to 90. That doesn't make any sense. I guess this was, we're
That
not
long
going chronologically
year, that long year
in order. Yeah.
a long time.
But then we get to the good shit with WCW, and which was pretty much what set Vader on the map to American audiences.
was he wearing that mask back then?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's when he had that badass fucking song too. We'll have to throw it on there.
We'll have two. Yeah.
Maybe we'll end this week's episode. We'll kick Rick Rude's theme song out for a
For
week.
Vader?
For Vader.
Yeah, just
in
out of
tribute.
respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Gotta respect the condom. WCW, and then as later run back to NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, in '96, before he went back to the World Wrestling Federation during the Attitude Era. I thought that as a kid watching that was kind of cool because Vader was this huge heel in WCW, and that was at the time when a guy you wouldn't think to see him in WWF. But all WWF's old guys like Hogan and Savage were coming over. So it was bound to happen. WCW's top talent was going to come. And you had like Vader, Sid, Ric Flair went early and even took the world title. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
So I just remember that moment though as a little kid. Like, what the fuck? You like Vader? This?
I didn't realize he was around for that long.
Yeah. He was around for a really long time. And you know what? Still, too, he was in TNA for, I think he made a couple appearances in like 2003 and 2015 for TNA, which a.k.a. Impact Wrestling now for all you fucking jabronis out there.
Yeah.
And then, and went back on the indies, and I think he popped up at, what was it, the 2000th or 1000th episode of fucking Monday Night Raw. It was a few years back. He came out, and he was actually looking not too bad. I mean, he didn't look different other than his gut was super huge now, where it looked like a fucking tumor or some shit.
You know what we
but
call
he's
that?
still doing the Vader bombs.
We call that a front butt.
Yeah, we call that the frumpa.
The frumpa? Front butt.
Who's we?
You know.
We don't
them?
keep count.
We don't keep count, Stratton. We're not going to tell you.
Front butt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a front
But
butt.
anyways,
Or a cliffhanger.
I gotta Google this. We don't keep count. Bullshit.
Yeah, it ain't no bullshit.
You don't know about
Bite
we
your
don't keep
tongue up
count.
there.
We don't keep count. WDKC running this town right now.
Painting the town red.
So at approximately 7:25 p.m. after a month-long hospitalization for pneumonia, Leon White, a.k.a. Big Van Vader, he passed away, 63. So that's all I got to say about that.
No, one thing. 63 is.
Is it young? Is that because we're getting?
It's young, but it's not for such like a large dude. Large dudes don't live that long.
Yeah, for sure. And he was still. Who knows what his weight was when he actually died? But I know he wasn't no fucking 450. But he was still easily over 300 pounds.
Putting his body through professional football.
I think he bit
Wrestling.
mankind's ear off.
Oh, did
in
he?
Japan?
That's
if I remember that story. Yeah.
That's probably what killed him.
Yeah, he maybe got the AIDS.
The HIV.
Yeah.
He got that HIV.
Who knows what fucking Mick Foley was giving out when he was Cactus Jack Bongo?
High fives and STDs? Is that what you're implying?
I'll high five anyone with an
High
STD.
fives and herpes.
Oh, Simplex 38.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off track here in a desperate, desolate, dangerous zone.
Damn.
Yeah. So
vocab.
here it is. Shout out to you, fucking. We're drinking some Budweiser tonight, amongst other things. I think you know what we're bringing back too. Me and Joey went back in time and picked up some fucking Jolt Cola.
Yeah.
What does that remind you of? Like fourth grade?
Fourth grade when we would buy a bunch of it at
getting buzzed up.
Zip
Yeah.
Foods before class just to be a bunch of crazy rambunctious kids and bouncing off the wall. Because you're ADHD and I'm ADD.
Yeah.
So, we would purposely.
But I don't suffer from ED.
I do sometimes.
Did it help?
What do you think about that, First Lady JP Dub?
Yeah.
She jumped out the window.
Thumbs up.
Stratton, are you okay in that department? We got things for that. But I remember the Jolt Cola back in fourth grade. And it was
We had every troublemaker in our fucking class, too. It was like, so all these kids would go real early and get hopped up on Jolt Cola. I'd probably come fresh off of
And then
watching
do math
WrestleMania.
Extra good.
Yeah. So I was already jacked, like Hogan versus Warrior, and then I go fucking get jacked on Jolt the next morning, and next thing you know, I'm shooting 200 spitballs on the fucking ceiling of the
and
school.
jumping off the freaking whatever off the desk, being
Oh
crazy.
yeah. There was a lot of crazy shit back in those days.
Right on.
For those of you that don't remember the Foreman Eagles.
The Foreman Eagles till I die. I'm gonna get some T-shirts made.
Oh, dude, old school Foreman Eagles. You
Yeah.
heard it here first.
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
You heard it here
first.
You heard it here.
first. But yeah,
You're hard of hearing.
shout out
first.
to Vader. What I really liked about him when I was a kid was his promos, but his costume and like that mask. It was always he was always red and black. Like he was Wolfpack before Wolfpack.
His face mask too was really cool. That once he took the mastodon thing off and he had that it was really thin, just weird.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that leather one.
Anders has his action figure.
That's what I was gonna get at too. He had
Yeah.
cool action figures. I'd always
sure.
bring him into like the G.I. Joe shit I was playing with at the time. And
It's Tom! It's Vader! Tom!
And he was always on Cobra's side, and he would always throw everybody off my staircase. Because I had a staircase, and that's where all the Joes would die. Or
That's
all the
where they
big
would
guys.
fall, right?
They would fall. Yeah.
Joes with the Joes falling.
The Joes with the Joes.
We got some fallen Joeys. Wish there's a bunch of ruse to catch all those Joeys.
I hope so.
Hey, so you want to know real quick before we finish Vader off? That was too soon. God damn it! No. His finishing move, the release power bomb. Just power bomb the fuck out of your neck and your fucking spine. The Vader bomb, which a slingshot kind of. I'm a 400-something pound guy. Gonna bring all my belly to your respective areas of pain.
Private parts?
Yeah, private parts.
Private parts.
Everywhere that will hurt.
Okay.
High sensitive spot.
His signature
High
move,
sensitivity areas.
the bear hug. Well, of course, a big man. Sretton doesn't mean bear hug.
Yeah.
Whenever we leave, you know, when we wrap up tonight, Sretton's going to bear hug us both.
And when he drinks too much, he's very grabby.
He is so affectionate.
He's a hugger.
He is.
He's a bear hugger.
Passionate kisses.
Passionate hugs from Serbia.
Yeah, passionate power. That should be your wrestling name, Sret.
Keep going, guys.
All right. The body avalanche, another move Sretton's become accustomed to since we started.
The Serbian suicide. Oh, yeah.
Suicide dive! Here's another one, the choke slam.
Was he one of the originators of the choke slam?
He's got it. Well, I don't think so. Because the first time I think I ever noticed it was with the Giant in WCW. It had been around
Didn't
before.
he always wear those cool cutoff gloves? Too?
Yeah, he had the MMA gloves.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Back in the day, this is
Yeah.
before a lot of that shit,
Yeah,
dude.
he
Like,
did. Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm thinking of Bam Bam Bigelow, who did an actual MMA fight.
Sure, they
He got
weren't
his-
driving gloves because those are super cool.
She drives me crazy.
Who was he always beefing with the most though? WWF years.
Who is he beefing with the most?
Like who's villain? You know, he was always the villain.
Yeah, he was a villain for a long time, and then
But who was he beefing with the most? Sid? Didn't Sid call him out a bunch? Or
I think he had matches with Sid. Dude, he fought everybody pretty much back in the day. Vader came in, you know, like Triple H, The Rock, all those dudes, and I don't remember any outstanding feuds in WWF because I liked him then, but like he was awesome in WCW. You know, I felt once he went to WWF, it was kind of
over.
Yeah, not necessarily, but the same shit they do now, where it's just a guy like that. It's the thing where he was a big fish in a small pond. I don't know, like talent wise. He didn't fit well with what they were trying to do at the time because that was attitude era shit where it's like, hey, we're gonna show a bunch of TNA tits and ass and swear a lot like we do on here. Yeah, show me tits. I'm erect. Aren't you erect?
That was Showgirls.
Yeah, remember we were little kids watching that shit.
Show me a tits.
It was so awesome. Saved by the smell. Anyways, back to these moves. The forearm club, the German suplex, which is a nasty fucking foreign maneuver.
Maneuver my remover.
The lariat wasn't a Spanish lariat, but a lariat nonetheless. The short arm clothesline, which was Jake the Snake was a master of that, where you grab the dude's arm and you pull him in and just rail him down. Dude, go on YouTube and look up some of Vader's short arm clotheslines. They're so super stiff. Like, probably dudes just getting knocked the fuck out every time. Like, how would you like to be that guy? You go in, you see what you're doing tonight, like, I got Vader. Yeah.
Damn.
Spinning back fist. There's
Chuck
another
Norris move.
Yeah, you know.
That is a Chuck Norris, yeah.
And the Vader slam, the Vader attack, the Vader crush, and the Vader hammer.
What was the forearm one though? Backtrack. What was that? Do you remember
Forearm
that?
is this. It's like the when you're throwing at guys, you know, almost looks like a punch, but you hit them with the forearm.
That's the one that works really well in real life.
Yeah.
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 You'll split some heads and some
Yeah.
noses with that.
Look at
one.
Brock's done it in WWE. He did it to Randy Orton and most recently, I think, Roman Reigns. So
Yeah.
here's to you, Brock. Oh, hell yeah. Cheers. Salud.
Cheers. Salute to Vader.
Yeah,
Rest in
to
power,
Vader.
man. He was great.
For sure.
One of the only gingers. Wasn't he a ginger? No more gingers?
Big Leon White was a ginger.
Right on.
But he was a very agile ginger.
Yes, he was.
He was a ginger fucking superstar. So, yeah. Next! Moving on from
Moving
that.
on. Transition.
Yeah, I'll go over a couple
Spit
little.
everywhere.
Yeah. Was there spit?
I spit and I
Oh.
snorted.
You rip and you rhyme and you rhyme and you spit.
Fluid filled over here.
Yeah, Fluid Filled Podcast brought to you by the Green Door Network.
we're
Going
gonna
over
do
a little news, rumors, and innuendo, sexual innuendo, that is. Going on in news, there's nothing really I give a fuck to talk about on here, other than like Triple H reveals how aware Vince McMahon is of NXT and the United Kingdom. No one cares. I don't want to hear about no business shit. You know, let's just for tonight, episode 13, we're going to rip loose, and we got a game coming up. Hey, I did, by the way, and this relates to wrestling, so if you guys ever think I'm off topic and you're some super wrestling fucking dork that's listening, and you're like, oh, he's not talking about wrestling, fuck you. And anyway,
Nerd alert.
yeah.
Oh, I have an update. We are down to 1 subscriber.
Yeah. No.
Yes,
Hey,
oh.
anybody that listens to this, I do appreciate it, and I love you. And anybody that's in the like, obviously you have a love for professional wrestling and dark humor and comedy and just a good time. That's what it's all about. So we do love you and love your support. But what I was saying,
But fuck you.
now I totally got fucking distracted because I'm so RVD 420'd right now.
The questions. You want the questions?
Too many questions. Oh no. Well, I wanted to say this too. Last night, because this relates to actually both of our shows, Musically Meditated and Juice Pro Wrestling. I watched a thing on Shudder. I subscribed to that last night with Glenn Danzig. Really good interview. And Glenn Danzig, who is a huge wrestling fan. Matter of fact, was it last year or no? When I seen him with the Misfits, I think it was. So a couple years ago now. And then we seen him the next year. He played with his just regular Danzig band. They did How the Gods Kill, the whole album. Cool. But he's talking about like his favorite wrestlers, and he's like, my favorite wrestler is the Blue Demon. Like, he's a luchador, you know. He's like into all that weird, like dark, cryptic shit. So, which I totally enjoy. But yeah, I checked that out last night, and it was pretty fucking cool. So if you guys get a chance to subscribe, you can do a 7-day or 4-day fucking trial, whatever it is, for like $5. Even though it's free, they still wanted my credit card information. You know,
We'll find them though.
that's because you're gonna forget, and the next thing you know, we don't keep count.
I forgot.
Another thing too, like wrestling related, music wise, there's a couple hip hop acts that are big into it.
Oh, nowadays there's a lot.
Yeah, but Flatbush Zombies are always making reference to a lot of old school wrestlers, and they'll wear the old school
like
shirts.
who they talk? I'm assuming Ric Flair's got to be like the god. For all
Flair's
these guys.
there. Ted DiBiase,
Oh, the $1 Million
Man. And who else? Action Bronson.
Okay.
He's like, he has like a rhyme about Marty Jannetty. I forget how it goes, but Doug Myers knows it, and I wish he was here because he could.
Yeah, shout out to Doug Such. Where you at?
Dougie Such. But yeah, there's a lot of hip hop artists that support pro wrestling, but those are a couple newer ones. Yeah,
they respect. You know, it's the entertainment value of it. It's the character. It's the lifestyle. The larger than life characters that everybody wishes they could fucking be. You know,
Yeah.
It's escapism. Whatever.
it's great.
I fucking love it. Woo!
I got some Ric Flair socks, right? And you remember?
Do you have some Ric? Are they like pink or purplish?
No,
kinda?
they're like baby blue.
Baby blue,
they're
yeah,
the baby
yeah.
blue ones, dude.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
dope. I think Stance made them. Stance
Nice.
makes the best ones, and Ultimate Warrior, but I gave those to my dad.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, another quick thing. I like your group page a lot on Facebook, but do you remember the video?
JP Woo.
Yeah, the JP Woo. But do you remember the video that I just posted recently? And it was Psycho Sid, Hogan, and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, yeah.
And Sid was supposed to be the judge or whatever for that particular bout.
Right.
But he was the biggest
Of them all.
Of all those. Yeah. Out of them all.
I love that you
Out of
love
three.
Psycho Sid a lot, dude. Because
I
like,
love Psycho Sid.
you know, we're like the same age, and growing up, seeing that fucking guy, and when you're growing up as a wrestling fan, you don't. I mean, even when you hear the rumors, someone talking shit like, it was fake. Like, people got to realize that are listening today and that watch wrestling today that like, you know, we're 34, 35. Our generation, when we were kids, it was still the stigma, what do they call it? The fucking what's the magical word?
Yeah,
RVD
stigma
420.
or like, hey, this is.
No, it was kayfabe still. So there was a lot of, and the talent did that. They tried to make it seem like it was real. But I remember hearing it here and there that like someone was like, oh, well, this is fake. But as a kid, you didn't know that. And I think we were probably one of the last generations to really be aware of that. You
Well,
know,
they did
because
a great
it's
job
so
at it, though. You know?
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
did.
it
Well,
was-
they hit it well.
Yeah.
And then once all that Vince McMahon steroid trial and everything came out, he's like, well, it's entertainment.
You'll like this. You'll like this story. Not to cut you off, but Grandpa Whitaker, like we would always watch Sunday night. What was the Sunday night one back then? WCW, right? Wasn't it on Sunday night?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's
And there
Saturday
was
night.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
But he'd be like, "It's real, boy.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
real." My dad would be like, "No, it's not.
Jump,
yeah,
jump,
shout out the jump." Like, boy, it's real. He loved Grandpa Whitaker. Loved professional
Fuck
wrestling.
yeah, man.
He's like, "It's real, boy. A lot of it's real." We're like, "No, it's not." But like
Yeah.
but it was entertaining. For him.
Yeah, it was good. And who am I to really sit and dissect and say why myself or you or anybody likes it? If you do, you do. And I think it's great. I think it's a fucking awesome form of entertainment and has influenced a lot of shit that you guys like, whether it be movies, music, TV, video games, all that shit.
Back to Sid though. What were you going to say about Sid? I mean, I remember I mentioned that story. He was the largest out of the three.
I just
but-
remember
He's
being
one of my
like in
favorite.
love with him as a kid in a strictly professional sort of way. Not sexually, like I'm in love with Threat Dog.
Not sexually.
That's really creepy.
As a child.
Stop.
Wait, whoa.
It's like a weird towel.
Yeah, you just went from Threaten the Savage to Child Chewer.
That's what happens when he shaves. That's what happens when he shaves.
Right? He becomes a
Turns
Child
into
Chewer.
Child chewer.
I'm Chauncey the Child Chewer. How are you?
But yeah.
No, Sid was a guy who was legit crazy, and he had the best fucking build because he was like what? He had to be close to 7 foot tall.
He was like 6'7" at least.
and he was not only jacked, but I mean the dude was cut up.
But dude,
Sid
he always
Udy,
had the craziest
traps.
traps.
Yeah.
His traps started at like the bottom of his earlobe.
And he was nuts, legit nuts. He got into it was a hotel fight with Arn Anderson, and this is part of the reason he got let go from WCW. I think Arn Anderson came at him first with a pair of scissors, and
Really?
Sid took them and proceeded to stab him with the fucking scissors, and then Arn got him, and long story short, they had both stabbed each other quite a bit, and there was a lot of fucking blood. Hey, pro wrestling's fake. Anyways, they stabbed the fuck out of each other, and so WCW releases him. He's still hot as far as a talent and, commodity, and WWF picks him up, and that's where the Psycho Sid shit came from.
Dude, here's a size 6'9", 317 from Marion, Arkansas.
Yeah, does it tell you how one of his first gimmicks was Lord Humongous?
Yes, Lord Humongous, then just Sid, then his name Sid Udy.
Sid Udy.
Udy?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a
That's
cool
his real
last
name,
name.
Is he from Kentucky or some shit?
No, Arkansas.
Oh, he is Arkansas
He
boy.
was trained by Tojo Yamamubo.
Akamada Topu.
Hey, man, don't call me that.
Yeah, right. I thought you were like doing some fucking Soulfly shit on me. The Dollar Topu Amegu.
I mean, I already told you once, don't call me that.
Yeah, I'm
Turn
having
this shit off.
flashbacks here.
Mic drop. Go.
Bringing up old shit. Dig up the graves to defile the dead.
Dig up the graves to defile the dead.
West Memphis, Arkansas, man. That's right.
That's some hick ass shit.
It's right there by Memphis, Tennessee. Like there's oddly enough, there's just a bridge that connects it. So
Yeah, and Sid connected all of them.
I just got an email. We have lost all our listeners from Arkansas.
sorry, Arkansas. All y'all Razorbacks.
We'll see you on the fucking other side.
Yeah, but Sidney Raymond Udy, R.I.P. Man. No, he's not dead.
No. Look at Joe's. You know what? I'm gonna be pissed at
I'm
you if
jumping
you
to
fucking just. You better knock on wood right now, because I love Sid.
I love
Sid's,
Sid too.
Sid's the greatest.
Joe, death predictions, Riley.
Yeah. What's another couple of like from growing up, like your favorite like heels?
Sid for sure. Definitely Razor Ramon.
Oh yeah, Razor. We love Razor here. He
Scott
was so
Hall,
cool.
all time. Scott Hall, Razor Ramon's my all time favorite.
probably just scar her heart for life.
That one promo where he's just like cruising around Miami.
Yeah,
Remember
he's
that
the
one?
toothpick. I like when that's where he pushes that kid in the water.
Yeah.
He was such a dick, but he was so cool. And dude, he looked so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
He was like some straight out of Scarface.
Yeah, he was
for
a
sure.
Scarface character.
Yeah.
Right on. And like, especially in the beginning, he was
full of cocaine.
he was just huge man. But yeah, definitely Razor Ramon, man.
Okay, yeah, we could dig that.
Yeah, Razor Ramon. The next one, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, forever.
yeah, another cokehead, but we love you.
Why do I like all the cokeheads?
I don't know,
don't
dude.
know.
His vignettes on. If you go on YouTube and Google his vignettes, where he's like, he's what Wade Boggs in one of them.
That's perfect.
All the top athletes of the time. And it's fucked up because he was kind of like a Bo Jackson, where you had always heard stories of like Kurt was a gifted wrestler, a former Intercontinental Champion, AWA World Champion, but he was also like just all around athlete, legit. Like people would watch him swim and do football and baseball and basketball, all that shit. And like he's really good at this stuff. So that's where they got like the idea of these vignettes, and to be pompous, adds to that fucking arrogant character where
I love that character.
simply perfect.
Yeah, he's just so arrogant.
Yeah, I love when he spit the gum out and he just hit it. And he was telling me, he's like, I still do that shit to this day when I spit gum out. Just
I want to do that to someone tonight. Like, what'd
Yeah.
you say?
We're going to fuck him up.
We're gonna fuck him up. We don't keep count.
Yeah, we don't keep count.
Here's a story about Mr. Perfect. I remember like why he was my favorite, like in '92. Do you remember back in the day you can collect those books and then you would buy the stickers and you would want to get the stickers to put it on each square?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the Mr. Perfect one was the best, and I was obsessed with it because he'd always wear those crazy early 90s colors.
Yeah, like the neon green,
yeah,
like black.
Like the onesies, and like he had like all the different colors and you had to get it, and it was like a like an upside down triangle, if that makes any sense. Or like
it wasn't a cross, don't worry.
It wasn't a cross. But like I remember I was like, oh, he's my favorite now. And then like he was my favorite.
And dude, that blonde mullet, that curly ass mullet,
that greasy.
I loved it when
curl.
it was wet, dude. Yeah. And when I'm gonna be honest with you,
when it was really wet.
When he would wrestle in the match and it would get dry and poofy, I would get kind of pissed off.
Man, we want it wet.
Like, why can't someone just wet him up? You know?
Well, yeah, he was a badass dude. Let me look up his size right quick. 6'3".
Yeah.
Damn.
He'd be like 250, probably 240 around.
They don't have his weight for whatever reason. They have his height, but not his weight. Okay.
He had a good build on it.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
He was a big boy, and his pops wrestled too, correct?
Yeah, Larry the Axe Hennig. Everybody says Henning, but it's really like Hennig. It's Hennig. And his son actually wrestles. He's Curtis Axel in WWE right now.
Really?
He's been floundering for many years. Oh. Yeah. Which, unfortunately, it sucks.
I'd like to interrupt for those that end up listening, and on their second listen, I'd invite them to play a drinking game called How Many Times Do Juice and Joe Say
Boner?
He had a really good build.
Whatever. If you ain't, I'll put it to you this way: if you ain't watching wrestling and looking at, I don't care who you are, male or female, and looking at, that's what attracts you, because these dudes look like fucking gods or superheroes,
like gods.
Or even the slobby guys.
His traps.
You're gonna be trapped in my musk of love. Holy muscle of love.
We're gonna show you our muscle.
Shout out to Alice Cooper on that. Musically meditated.
But another one, Scott Steiner. And speaking of builds, those were the biggest arms.
Dude.
That one arm, remember it had a bicep on top of a bicep?
Who got the best body?
Yeah. All my hooches.
Yeah.
Remember he'd bring off his girls.
Dude, he had a softball for a bicep, man.
He did. It was insane.
It sucks to see him now. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to meet him and actually assist him in a match and threw him a chair. And we've talked about that on here, so I'm not going to re-go over it. But I loved it, so we're going to go over it again.
Yeah. I mean,
I forgot. What happened?
I did.
We were at Inman's in Portage. There was an event going on there, and it was Sabu, Scott Steiner, Bob Holly was there, a couple other guys. And Scott had lost his match due to some bullshit with the ref. Well, the whole shtick was he is taken out on the ref after the match, and he grabs the ref by the shirt, and he's walking him out, and he's kind of walking like towards me, and I'm like, holy fuck, like I got to do something, like he's got the ref, and he's like throws him on this table, and I'm like, fuck, he's going to fucking put him through a table or something. I'm like, yo, Scotty! And he's like, give me the damn chair! And I was like, here you go. And it's on YouTube. Like, if you go on my personal YouTube page, which is at Juicifuge, you can check that shit out. It was a great feeling, to give Scotty the chair, and he fucking pounded the ref with it and then proceed to walk out and be all huge and swole. But now it's kind of a sad thing now where his body, I mean, he had to have been on some sort of juice. You don't get a body that's that huge and that fucking cut up like that without doing something. I'm sorry, just doesn't happen. Look at guys like superstar Billy Graham that had the biggest, best fucking physique in the world, and then you get older, you stop doing the shit, and your body degrades, He
was a walking steroid.
Yeah, and it sucks to see him now. He's still in Impact Wrestling, and he still can go somewhat, and it's not bad. I love seeing him, because he was also, too, like, in real life, I mean, he was kind of a dick. Like a hothead, like I'm that fucking huge, fuck with me mentality, which to me as a fan was like really cool. Like I don't care if he's a dick backstage, because I guarantee you people are trying to get him to do shit maybe he don't like or don't want to do, and he doesn't fucking have to do it.
Remember, they were always Michigan boys too. Like him and his brother both wrestled.
And did you know their real last name is Rick Steiner? It's Rick and Scott Rick Steiner. Just threw you for a fucking loop, didn't they?
You did. Yeah. Some strong Michigan German boys, right?
Yeah, he's got now he's got all these tacky tattoos, but he does have Michigan. It's on his left or his right fucking shoulder right here.
He was Olympic too, right? Both of them wrestled for the U.S.
I don't know if they wrestled U.S. or not. I know they did college. As far as I knew, I think they both still go to Michigan and like offer advice or do some shit. I know Rick Steiner does real estate. I got my fucking body beaten to the dirt so I can do some fucking real estate. But
all right, Rick. Yeah, damn. They don't have his. They just have all
the dog faced grandma. I remember. He always looked like your dad, dude. I remember like back at your dad, the young version of your dad, with the fucking chops or even the thick ass beard, and the wrestling headgear, man.
Yeah, he does. He reminds
your
me
dad
of my
was
pops
fucking Rick Steiner, dude.
He was.
When I was a kid, I always thought your dad was Rick Steiner. Like he'd just go do TV on weekends.
Yeah, I remember my dad was always flexing too. Like
fuck yeah,
he was always flexing the buys. Always, he'd pick you up. Yeah, good times. But yeah, Scott Steiner, definitely Michigan all the way. Yeah, I'm looking. Got a crazy.
He owns like a restaurant or something too, I think.
Yeah, he's from Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit. Went to Michigan University. That's crazy.
He's a Wolverine, man.
He is a Wolverine.
Schnick it.
But yeah, those are my favorite wrestlers off the top of my dome.
What about Hollywood Hogan?
Yeah, but he was never my favorite. I liked Warrior better.
Oh man.
But Warrior was so short-lived.
Yeah, he really was, dude.
And obviously Ric Flair. I would say Ric Flair is my all-time fave.
Really? Especially probably now since you're older.
Yeah.
And like all these rappers, you just realize.
Sense.
Yeah. That's what's cool sense. Too is a lot of these guys, when you grow up and you actually get their character, more than you did as a kid, where it's like, well, yeah, he was cool. But now you're older, you can understand a little bit more. And it's like, wow, dude, this guy was doing some really fucking cool shit. And he was living that life. Because
super entertaining. Just forever.
Yeah.
Forever. I remember Ryan Slicker and Ricky Potney loved him like back in those days.
Fuck
like
yeah.
The late 90s, like the WCW. Like there was some match he got hit in the back and there was a knot and like it never went away. So.
You better not mention that again, you cocksucker.
So every time we watch, like they'd be like, there it is, there's this knot. Like he just had this, it was probably cancer or something.
Yeah.
Or,
no, you know what that was? Is he actually survived an airplane crash.
So you know what the knot is on Flair's
that's
back.
Scar tissue, dude. That's built up scar tissue. Remember the guys from Harlem Heat?
Yeah.
Booker T and Stevie Ray? They had a lot of like the gashes and shit. It was all scar tissue. It was I'd be a liar if I was to tell you who exactly was in the plane, but I think it was sometime like early 80s, late 70s or something.
All those guys were in one
not Harlem Heat and Flair, but Flair and a couple other big guys at the time. Maybe Larry the Axe Hennig was in that plane crash, if I remember correctly. And dude, it was a small fucking plane, and like they straight just fucking went down.
Really?
Crashed.
Didn't know that.
And
That's
he broke his back. And so he was out of wrestling for a little bit.
You talking Mr. Perfect's dad?
No, I'm talking, well, yeah, he was in the plane, I believe. If I'm wrong, you guys can let me know about it in the comments section. I respect your opinion to some degree. All the degrees, I'm just fucking with you. Juice likes to tickle them balls. Yeah, Flair was in it too, and he's the one that broke his back, and it was fucked up for a long time, and then he came back, and the rest is fucking history. But the motherfucker survived a plane crash in a small plane. Like, you're gonna die, dude. I would feel more comfortable in like a big ass Boeing, even though that would still suck, and you're still probably gonna die. But like a small little personal Learjet or whatever, like they had.
The G-force is already bad in those fucking things.
Yeah. So Ric Flair, hey man, shout out to you. You fucking survive everything.
Backtrack real quick. Woo! Scott Steiner size 6'1".
Best body.
276 in his prime. That's
all muscle too, dude.
276
all fucking muscle.
Pounds out of 6'1".
Muscle and hatred.
78 pounds of bicep.
Dude. Yeah, his arms at least had to weigh like 50
His
pounds.
fucking balls probably had biceps. His fucking balls probably had biceps, dude.
His fucking balls probably had biceps, dude.
No, probably not after all those steroids.
Well, he's probably injecting those with steroids to even it out. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You can put muscles on you.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. If you'd like to come to Juice Pro Wrestling and shoot up some steroids and let us know what happens, the world's your oyster.
You could do it at home.
Yeah. Do it at home, you fucking... No, don't do that at home.
Just don't be a fuckboy and do steroids. How about that?
Fuck that. So, as far as...
vegetables.
Now,
That's
let's...
really
hey,
douchey.
real quick, though, I want to ask
Say
you...
your prayers. Brush your teeth.
Yeah, that's a good segue. Eat your vitamins. Love Jesus.
Don't do steroids. Don't be a fuckboy. What next?
Who were some of your favorite baby faces as a kid? Like, good guys.
I never really liked the good guys.
Well, yeah, but you were never ever a Hogan fan.
Not
the
really.
red and yellow?
Not really.
Really?
I would. That's
What
a good
about
question.
Junkyard Dog?
He's all right.
He had the thumb.
You know who I liked? Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules is
That was-
cool.
that was my
Hercules
guy.
Hernandez?
That was like, yeah, he was the shit. I remember I had his wrestling figure, and it had that goofy rubbery chain that he always wore around his neck.
Yeah.
What was that? WrestleMania 3?
Oh, shit. He was in 3. He was in the first few.
Yeah, that was my hero when I was a kid for sure.
Hercules.
I think I had like the baseball tee, like that '80s baseball tee,
Really?
like a Hercules one. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
But yeah, that was my guy. Remember him, man?
Yeah,
Dope.
fuck yeah, dude. What was it? Power and Pain, or it was him and Paul Roma were a tag team at one point. I remember when since you brought up Hercules, I remember watching this YouTube clip, and it was back in the day. It was $1 Million Man had a deal worked out with Bobby the Brain Heenan, and like at the time, Hercules was in the Heenan family. He was like, the bodyguard, whatever. And they're talking, and he's just standing there looking all tough and looking like shit. And $1 Million Man is going to Bobby Heenan. He's like, we had this deal worked out. We got this it's really lucrative, like great, beneficial, both of us. And Bobby Heenan's like, yeah, I can't wait. And he gives him like a case of money. Bobby Heenan's like, oh, this is fucking awesome. He closes it. And he's like, he's all yours. And Hercules looks like, what the fuck? $1 Million Man just Bobby the Brain scene and sold him to fucking Ted DiBiase because that's how baller it was. You could buy and sell bodies back in the day.
Here's one too off the top of the dome. Tino Santana.
Oh, Chico Santana.
He was my
Jesse
guy.
Ventura. You saw it say, Chico.
Shout out to Luke Greener because when we were kids, he was always like the wrestler. Like he had all the figures, the rubber ones.
Yeah, yeah.
For whatever reason, I liked the Tino Santana one because
He had the little Mexican sombrero on his ass
but
right here.
he like his arms were like this, and he could like do the most moves or something like with the rubber toys. So I always picked him.
Yeah, Tito Santana. I like Tito.
Yeah,
El Matador when he came back.
and then my like you said, babyface favorite ones like
Warrior
for sure. But now,
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh,
yeah, I liked him.
Hey, tough guy.
And I like the Bush.
He got caught with Iron Sheik. This is what killed wrestling, like the start of it. How they knew that, like, hey, this is fake because the good guy's hanging out with the bad guy. Him and Iron Sheik were on their way to it was a huge pay-per-view show. So I can't say it's WrestleMania, SummerSlam, whatever it was. They were on their way. They get pulled over by the cops. And they get busted with like a bunch of blow and fucking all kinds of shit. The Sheik fucking Kamakash. Fucking awesome. He had to get in character real quick because these are like good guys and bad guys riding together, and that's back in the day. That was pretty much what broke it. Like, all right, something's up. It's fixed. Yeah, they got busted with some blow and shit. Though.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
that's Michael Irvin. He got caught with a bunch of dildos and cocaine.
Yeah, he does. And on that note, I'm gonna walk out on this.
Plural. But yeah, at any rate, another one too, Strutton. I don't know who you liked as your heroes earlier, but Goldberg was my favorite, and then Stone Cold. Who'd you like better, Goldberg? Yeah.
Because I didn't watch WWF back then.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I always was a WWF guy, and then because of the Wolfpack and then because of the NWO, I went WCW and just completely ignored WWF because I actually hated it. Like the Attitude Era, I didn't like any.
Oh, it wasn't.
I just found it super lame, cheesy, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Wolfpack. I was totally into NWO and the Wolfpack at the time, but Stone Cold was very entertaining. I loved the stunner. Yeah. I like the whole beer thing and the interaction with the crowd. Because Goldberg was like, in my opinion, like he was the WCW ripoff version of Stone Cold. And you could tell. Yeah, he had the bald head.
There was also something about he was just such a badass though. All his matches were like 20 seconds long. He would just come in,
because he wasn't skilled in real life.
Yeah, but
it was
as long as match, he was huffing and puffing, couldn't handle it.
He had some big old traps on his ass too.
Stone Cold had amazing presence. Obviously.
Going back to the traps, I loved Bill Goldberg's traps. They were huge. I wanted to luck them.
He had a great
just wanted to gnaw on him. You wanted to give him a neck rub.
Well, you guys, will remind me, and not to cut you off, Strong, we're getting right back to the Savage.
I was just saying he had a great build.
He had a really good build.
He did. Goldberg was, to me, I get the Stone Cold thing, and he has even came out and said, like, people thought I was a ripoff of Stone Cold because the black tights, the bald head, the goatee. But, dude, to me, he was more like a upgraded version of the Warrior, more believable version. Because he incorporated some, like, arm bars and, like, mixed martial arts shits and, like, different types of kicks. And he was just so super intense.
Yeah,
is what it was,
meathead
dude.
Ex-football guy.
Yeah, coming out and destroying guys in 30 fucking seconds. And it was the shit, dude. Like, the NWO gave WCW their fucking 82-week or 83-week advantage over WWF programming. And then in order to kind of keep some of that shit going, Goldberg was the next thing that brought them mass attention.
Yeah.
He beat Hulk Hogan on a Monday. This is Monday. remember now, football, even still at the time, is still the biggest sport, most watched shit in the world, right? Well, in America. And at that time, he packed the Georgia Dome, which is like, I don't know, what is 60,000, 80,000?
That's where he's from, though. He played for the Falcons.
Against Hollywood Hogan. He was the U.S. champion versus Hogan, the world champion. Another throwback to Hogan and Warrior kind of, comparison where Warrior was Intercontinentals. It was the first time that had been done, and the first time when he won. And watch, if you guys go back on YouTube or WWE Network and watch that, the crowd reaction was fucking nuts, dude. He's from there. He had played football for Atlanta, like you said.
Yeah. I think he went to Georgia Tech too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you could just tell he was an ex-football dude. That's why the spear was his move.
Yeah,
I remember I got beat up.
Though.
I got beat up, kind of. I got my shots.
No, we don't keep counting.
A real life fight.
We got a drama.
I took my big swing at the dude, and he ducked, and then he just straight up Goldberg speared my ass right in front of the library. It sucked, but
were there any chicks?
No, I started it.
Did
What's
he have
that?
books in his hand?
Were there any like chicks or
Yeah,
something?
the whole fucking school was there watching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Were you
weren't
guys
at that
fighting
school.
over it?
No.
No, it's a long story, but he Goldberg speared my ass. I was pissed off about it.
Did he yell out
Well, it's better being
Goldberg's
pissed
spear?
on about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like
Never been
Goldberg. I
pissed
think
on.
that's a great choice. I think he's one of the most actually underrated wrestlers. I mean, he did fucking kick Bret Hart into fucking retirement.
Good.
King Cost!
Bret Hart sucked, so I'm glad.
Well, yeah,
I never liked him.
I was
Bret
never a
Hart.
huge fan, so I guess I could, he was cool when he came over to NWO and he was like the hitman for the NWO.
Yeah,
Hollywood didn't trust him.
I liked
though.
Owen though. He was my guy.
Owen was the shit.
Yeah.
Rest in power, Owen.
All right,
You were the
bye.
best. It sucks. You were the blue blazer instead of Brett.
Yeah.
He could have been the plink. The plink.
The
the
plinks.
pink. We all the plinks. The plumpkins. The blumpkins. And the bears. Oh my. He could have been the pink blazer.
The Blink Blazer.
You said it too, Blink. You can't-
Blazer.
We're all a little RVD 420'd right now. Hey, speaking of RVD 420, it's recreational marijuana use is legal now in Canada. So shout out to that, Joey Whitelegs.
Way to save the rest of that sentence because you were having a little trouble at the front.
But he got it
Stratton
out.
always has trouble in the front until it comes out the back.
Ooh, yeah.
Dare you?
Way to be so savage, yeah.
Just a little ED.
Just a little Ed. Never stopped me from jumping in bed.
Damn, he's mad.
It's the world's biggest dick.
Don't matter, just don't bite it.
You're reducing that to lips.
Don't matter, just don't bite it.
Yeah, we got one of those little musically meditated cuts for you. Going right there. So
Always.
Goldberg, Warrior,
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold was cool, but I hear you talking like he wasn't as cool as everybody else. Like even though he was super huge, because to me, I mean, he was awesome, but he was still like this white trash motherfucker.
I like that about him. He's like a white trash dude that listens to Metallica and drinks Pabst. And
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Like looking back now, I kind of look at it more
he played football too, didn't he?
blue
Remember?
collar. Yeah, I don't know if he did it for Texas or not. He started way back, dude, like with the Von Erichs and stuff in WCCW.
Yeah.
So back in Texas, like legit tough motherfucker, and still to this day looks in phenomenal shape. And he's got to be 50 or
He didn't
close to
drug
it.
out. Did he drug out and party back then? I mean, I know he was a beer drinker, but
Well, yeah, beer drinker, and I'm pretty sure he's got addicted to some painkillers at some time. You guys can check out the Stone Cold podcast.
he has
It's-
one, huh?
Yeah, it's very entertaining. Not as
cool.
entertaining as JP Dub.
No, absolutely not.
No disrespect, Mr. Steve Austin. But very entertaining nonetheless.
Cool.
Great
Cool.
guess.
I didn't know, but
Not
yeah,
as good as my guess, but great guess.
I do all right. Stratton's the best.
Stratton's the best.
Elise is cool too.
Oh, Miss Elizabeth. Ooh, where's the snake? Yeah.
Put her in a little gown.
heaven. Yeah. Or is it a match made in hell? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Yeah, we love Macho Man. I'm saying, all this Macho Man
That's it.
innuendo.
Hey, Macho was cool.
But he was cool. He was both sides, though, for
I
a
like
long
the British
time.
going back to British Bulldog.
Yeah. What about the British Bulldogs? Remember when they were a tag team?
I had that sticker. Talking about stickers,
Yeah.
I had like
Dynamite Kid, he was like
Yeah.
basically Chris Benoit was like the second version of
It was
Dynamite
them
Kid.
two, and like the Bulldog was in the middle. Remember they were
Matilda.
British. They were British as shit.
Fuck yeah, they were,
Yeah.
dude. And Davey Boy Smith was actually married into the Hart family.
Really?
Yep. A lot of those wrestlers are really. His son, Davey Boy Smith Jr. wrestles. He was Davey Boy was married to Brett's sister. So yeah.
Here's another old school one. Big,
old school.
And I like the toy. It was like my favorite Big John Stud.
Oh yeah, Big Juice Stud. Oh, Big John Stud.
Big, not you.
Harley Davidson,
Not
the
you.
Marlboro Man.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen that? You can see.
Remember his figure? He's just like kind of squatting like this the whole
fuck
time.
yeah,
He's
dude.
just like,
Yeah.
he had long hair. It was great.
Yeah, long blonde hair. You know what though, Sret, you remember when the Andre? We were talking about the Andre documentary, and Andre used to bully Big John Stud. And Big John Stud's a big motherfucker, dude.
And he would bully him.
Oh, dude, he'd be like, "No."
I like those old school dudes.
He had a really good build.
The old school dudes really were cool, man. Like I don't think kids nowadays. I mean, maybe with the newer up and coming guys. But there hasn't been a lot of good characters like that. They're like very impactful or long lasting that people will remember. Like a lot of those guys from the 80s, even if they were like the mid card, low card guys, say like a JYD, Junkyard Dog,
great.
or Hercules, they were never main eventers. But you still remember these motherfuckers, that says something. And to those guys who could pull that shit off,
You could say the same thing like with music on a hip hop sense. Like,
Right.
you'll remember your Eazy-E's and
Right.
your Tupacs and shit. But all
Yeah.
these new guys, like, that'll never happen again.
No, it's you've lived through a golden era of something, and it's very hard. It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. Never say never, but
You guys
to
sound
duplicate.
you guys sound like a pair of old men because I totally disagree with you. There's kids all over the place with belts and shirts and toys.
Yeah, it is, but it's not. You have to understand, it's not. It's more accepted, and it's not like a huge thing like it was back then. Like back then, that was it. Wrestling was everywhere, and it was everything.
And you'd have to go to the actual venue.
Yeah,
to
and
see it.
and
Like,
people were super excited. And not to say they aren't now, but it's just the way it's consumed and marketed and all that. It's just so different. It doesn't feel as powerful, even though I'm sure it's making people a lot of fucking money. It's not the same. That's like saying LeBron is Michael Jordan. No, I mean he's very fucking good. He's very
it's kinda like
close.
this too. Like everything has to be so serious now. Like,
Yeah.
here's your weight class, MMA.
Right.
Go wrestle on the ground for a while
Yeah.
and tell us about where you train and all this bullshit. Like
High altitude
yeah,
drinking
but,
of
but
piss.
going back to like wrestling, especially in the '80s that we grew up with, like it was all big showtime and it was
Yeah.
fun and it was colorful
It was
and
main
it wasn't
event.
serious, but they made it serious, like
Right.
by how they portrayed themselves. Like everything was so entertaining across the board. Like they were professionals on how they presented themselves in front of thousands of people. Then athletically, what they had to offer on, or offer in the ring, like it was great. Like,
Yeah.
Now everything's so fucking serious.
It is serious. I mean, I think athletically wise, it's better than it was. Maybe some promotions like WWE, it's not so like hard. Like
Yeah, but I want
stiff.
big dudes.
Right. Yeah.
throwing
Yeah.
motherfuckers
Exactly.
around.
And because we're fucking kids who read comic books. And
Yeah,
shit,
we need
like I want to see that
humongous
in
human
real life.
beings.
That's as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Is these fucking huge ass.
Like Psycho Sid, 6'9".
Yeah.
God damn.
Like Sid versus Vader. Come on, bucket. Yeah.
I mean, that's humongous dudes,
Yeah.
man. Like
Yeah.
Hogan and Warrior. Like
That's that testosterone, dude. It gets you fucking. It gets you fucking pumped up.
it does.
He had a really good build.
And it's fucking great.
It does.
I love it.
I'm getting pumped up right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And for all you out there listening, if you're not getting pumped up and tying one off, and by that I mean, the Warrior tassels to your biceps, you sick drug addicts.
Yeah, dope heads.
Yeah, fucking dope pad. All right. Anyway, we're losing track of ourselves. So that's about it, though. You would
Yeah,
say as
that's
far as.
it.
All right.
That's it.
What about you, Sren?
Your favorite.
Favorite villain?
Favorite villain?
Villain?
Yeah, heel, villain. We'll start.
Actually, back in the day, for some reason, I couldn't stand Ric Flair. I didn't like all the arrogance.
You know what?
I didn't
I was
either.
a little bit on that. Yeah, I would say
I like
I'm
him
there
now,
with
though.
you. Yeah.
I was a little kid.
We're all older,
You know
yeah.
what, Rick, fuck you,
Yeah,
Rick.
fuck you,
My
Rick.
dad's
I ain't got money and pussy.
I remember my dad's like, he's
Yeah.
a dick. He's such a dick. My dad always hated Flair.
Yeah.
Here's this dick. Like, whatever.
Yeah, with these
but-
alligators.
these alligator now.
Me too. I was like,
alligator.
Dad, Rick, he's getting all that pussy.
Yeah. He's got. Did you hear about the
gonna be
line
my
to Space
time,
Mountain?
Dad?
It's a mile
It's gonna be my
long.
time.
Grandpa Whitaker loved him. Oh, he's a showman. He's a showman, boy.
Yeah. See, Grandpa Wicker was awesome because, dude, he was Southern, man. Them
He was.
Southern motherfuckers love their
They love their wrestling.
wrestling.
It's
Yeah.
something, yeah, it's something in their blood.
WCW. But I love that shit. It was great, dude. It's
Hell
good
yeah.
times. Fuck
What
yeah.
else, Red? And what other villains?
Villains? I'm trying to think of
Macho.
guys.
You were the Macho Man guy.
I love
for sure.
Macho
Macho
Man.
King too. Remember when he was the Macho King?
Well, didn't dig the Macho King.
Really?
But I
when
like
he smashed the Warrior with the fucking scepter.
huge Warrior fan. Any that excitement when he would come on, when Warrior would come on, I'd start running around the living room, knocking shit over.
Yeah, fuck that, Mom. I'm sorry. I'll pick it up later.
And then anytime Hogan was getting his ass kicked, and then the crowd starts cheering and give him that energy out of nowhere.
Oh, when he
just
hulked
starts
up, dude,
shaking his hands.
Man, I still to this day I'll watch old shit and I'm like, I just want to go out and like punch glass, you know?
That's why he transcended like 4 generations of wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because he always had that power over the crowd.
Would you say hands down? I mean,
That's a bold statement.
as a babyface character, well, fuck, if you consider Hollywood, would you? He's got to be the best ever. Just because if we're talking about wrestling,
Who, Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan? Yeah, he's the man.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say wrestling technicality, but showman. Because wrestling, at the end of the day, it's all about getting people to believe. So it is showmanship, no matter what. That's the most important thing to me. You got to be able to like sell it and know how to wrestle. That's great.
yeah.
But there's no one that will ever be bigger.
He was the greatest showman.
He's better. I think
If
he's
he came
bigger
back
than The
now-
Rock, than
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
You know.
It was so great for his career to go to the villain side too. It was like the best
dude,
thing ever.
Hollywood,
You know,
and it
Hollywood
was so
the best.
gangster, dude.
It was
So
gangster.
gangster. You know, we did the NWO episode. It's episode
go back
9.
and revisit. Yeah,
Yeah.
go back and revisit episode 9. We
Name
put
a
it
name a
down.
villain from the classic
life.
times. I can't think of any right now.
Villain from the classic
All I
times.
keep-
Rick Rude,
Undertaker.
No. Before
Well, he was
that.
like a hero.
Before
King
that.
Kong Bundy.
Yeah, I guess none of those
Earthquake?
guys shine as much as the good guys do. Like as much as Hulk Hogan shine.
There were Jake the Snake, man. He was
was a
kind
big-
of sort of bad guy. He was.
I always liked Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Psycho
Yeah.
Sid Justice was his name. He was a bad
when
guy.
he came to WWF,
Yeah.
and he turned on Hogan.
Yeah,
dude.
he turned on
Tuesday Night
Hogan.
Titans, I think it was. Yeah.
Remember they had a video. Remember those old school like handheld cheap
Tiger
video
Electronics?
games? Tiger.
Yeah, I had that
And
at the
it was-
WrestleMania one.
Yeah, and it was Sid versus Hulk on it.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm talking
remember we
about?
talked about this shit for Nintendo. They had the wrestling game where it was back in the day, so the graphics are like
Yeah, shit.
two squares all on top of each squares on top of each other. But you always knew when Hulk Hogan came out because of his bad back and his tight hip
Yeah, he'd be like-
flexors. So he could never. He was always the guy that was like a straight line with a forward line.
A bald spot and a blonde spot.
Yeah, the guy that could never stand up straight. And he would sit there with that bad posture, like strutting around the ring, and you're like, "That's Hulk Hogan."
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. But somehow in the first
couldn't tell
Nintendo game,
what-
I think he had like red tights. Or it was something weird. I was like, what?
What when he with the Dub C Dub when he came
No,
out? Even before that.
Nintendo. Remember the first WrestleMania
wow.
game where it's him on the
Yeah.
cover ripping his shirt? In the
those
actual
colors up.
gameplay, I think he had like red tights or something. I remember being pissed. Like, it's so fucking cheap they can't even give him the yellow tights. He never wore red tights. It's not Thunder Lips. God damn it, yeah.
Yeah, they fucked up.
Yeah,
back
that shit
then.
pissed me off. And that was an LJN effort, I think. You know?
Little
WrestleMania.
transition in a backtrack here, asking like who are some of my favorite like heroes or good guys.
Hey, Rose.
Tag team LOD Legion of Doom.
Oh, dude, hands down. Dip it.
and they're from Chicago.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Chicago boys that moved to Minnesota, they used to bounce the fuck out of people because they could. And other guys, they had huge fucking traps.
You had a really good build.
Don't get trapped into this episode. Hey,
This is the trap.
we're the trap.
episode.
You guys were
Jesus.
telling me about trapped rap.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
We're gonna do trapped reps.
Trapped reps. You want to do
Yeah.
some shrugs with me after this episode?
We're gonna shruggish
the
bone.
shruggish bone.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Yeah, but LOD for sure.
Oh man, Hawk and Animal. I met Animal 2 years ago with my son, and it was I had a huge booner. No, not really, but it,
you
you know,
fanboyed out.
oh,
for sure.
hardcore, dude. Like that's the Road Warriors, man. They were so fucking intimidating. And here's another little thing. All you listening may not know. I was actually at WrestleMania 8.
Okay.
The what was it? Indianapolis or Indiana Hoosier Dome? It was Indianapolis Hoosier
It
Dome.
was just
back
the
in
Hoosier
day.
Dome. Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
the Colts played. Yeah.
So I was there. That's
Don't
where
look
they
at
held
me
it
like
at the
that,
time. This is when LOD first came back, and they were doing an interview with Mean Gene, and I'm off in the corner, and you could see me very clear as day, a little young kid with my WrestleMania hat, and I just remember seeing those dudes like with the spikes and shit, and so powerful. Once again, that intimidating factor of huge dudes that were no nonsense. And to quote Jim Ross, they were very hard, very big, and very stiff. We always got to throw it because it's great. It works.
The best.
It is the best.
Shout out to LOD.
Yeah.
And then another hero that I liked a lot was
They snacked on Danger and Dino.
Hacksaw.
Hackshaw, Tim
Hackshaw
Huggins.
Jim Huggins.
Jim Huggins.
I remember his toy. Talking about toys. Remember those shitty smaller plastic ones that came out in the 90s?
Yeah, the Hasbro.
Yeah, and then it was like his arm was cocked like this, and then he had that 2x4, and it would just. So like every time I played, like when he got involved, if I had the 2x4 and he hit someone, like it was
would hurt.
over.
It would hurt.
But then I lost the 2x4, so then he never got any more recognition.
I lost
the toy
that.
box. Like
I lost
No,
Jake
just look at-
Snake.
He was masturbating.
Yeah, it was just always like this.
Hacksaw Jim masturbating.
Hillbilly Jim. Don't go messing with a country boy. Country boy. A country boy.
Yeah, Hacksaw
Joe Goddard.
Joey Whiteload.
Dim Juggins.
Dim Juggins.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I feel like we're getting a CAW moment, a creator wrestler. Hacksaw Dim Huggins. Grim Huggins.
Grim Juggins.
Grim Juggins.
Another thing.
Mickey Scroggins.
Mickey Scroggins go into a villain that's slept on for sure that I love was Nails.
Nails. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier, Sret.
Looked like he came straight out of fucking county.
Yeah, that
Or
was
like
the storyline.
Michigan
He was
City
the
prison.
big boss man. He was one of the ex-prisoners of the big boss man, and he just didn't give a. He was, dilly-gaffed.
I don't give a hell.
Yeah, does it look like he gives a fuck?
I don't give a hell.
No, hell's not to be given. It's to be taken.
It's an old quote by Kellen Winslow from the Browns, but at any rate. But yeah, Nails was the shit. I remember his toy was cool too because he had the Billy Club.
Yeah.
That was his move. Remember, he'd like come and spoil
Flapjack
whatever.
a motherfucker.
What was going on? Yeah, but he had like a flapjack or like a Billy Club, and he would just fucking knock someone out.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like he didn't really wrestle, and he'd just come out in the orange prison suit.
Yeah.
with like broken
Think-
chains.
think about
Like,
that, though, like-
that was his character. That he
was
just
an
hit you with
inmate.
a weapon.
His character, he was an inmate.
Yeah.
Like that's. Would that fly nowadays? You think? I don't think that would fly.
I don't know.
But yeah, Nails was my guy. He
Yeah.
had like a big gap. He was one of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, he had that weird blonde haircut where he was like, it was a weird blonde haircut. He looked like Baby Huey.
Not you, Elise.
But like, got new Elise alive.
No disrespect.
First lady of JP Dub has been disrespected way too many times tonight. We will not stand for this.
She looked at me and she's like, "What my?" Like, no, your hair is good. It ain't like Nails.
No.
Nails had that prison weird white trash blonde
like
haircut.
The too much nights jerking off upon the wall, and then you see the cum stains the next morning. You feel the shame.
But didn't he have a gap? Didn't he have a gap like a
I think
motherfucker
he
or bad
did.
teeth?
No, you're thinking of Isaac Yankem. Old Kane. Remember the evil dentist? That was Kane.
Oh,
ended
yeah,
up
he'd rip
becoming
out the
Kane.
teeth and
It's Jerry
shit.
Lawler's dentist, and he had the weird yellow fucking
I
sharp
thought Nail had
teeth.
a bad grill. Or
He
Nails
probably did. He was in prison.
Was that
Sometimes,
true?
though, prison preserves.
Prison preserve.
Hey, if you believe the storyline, yeah, it was very fucking true. Very fucking hard, and he was very fucking staff. Jim Rouse, you're the greatest.
Jim Rouse. What? That was his name?
Jim Rouse. Remember Jim Rouse?
Jim Rouse in the house.
Shout out to old school HBT.
No, dude. Nails is real. His real name is Kevin Wachholtz.
Kevin Lockhold.
Damn, he was 6'5", 297.
He was a big boy. Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah.
That's why he wore that diaper of an outfit, the orange diaper.
Yeah.
Ever so dapper in your orange diaper.
Yeah. Nails. Damn, I didn't realize he was that.
Nailed it.
He nailed it.
Yeah.
So
And then he got fucking fired. So what did he really nail?
I don't know.
So moving on from nails, what was another guy?
What now? Villain or you want hero?
Well, because you don't really follow much now in the
No.
New Day shit. So
The current dude that I do like is the Celtic guy.
Sheamus.
Yeah, Sheamus. He's cool.
Yeah, he's all right. You got to watch more Bullet Club shit. More of the
Okay.
being elite. Joey Ryan, he's the king
Yeah,
of
Joey
Dong
Ryan's
style.
cool. Yeah, he's cool.
He's the dick master.
He is the dick master. Yeah.
The Young Bucks being the elite, all this all-in nonsense and shit Bullet Club's doing. It's all very reminiscent of those old school days where they're kind of came back to that character shit.
I just never liked The Rock, like the whole Rock thing. And since
I was
the
never a
Rock
big
era.
fan of, yeah. And shout out to Big Ed the Assassin. I know I brought this up when you're on here too, so no disrespect, but I remember when The Rock turned heel and you cried, and I felt really bad for you. And
he's a big Rock guy. He's like, you don't like him?
he loves The Rock. He was a big Rocky guy. I was never a huge Rock guy. I think I can only appreciate him a little bit now because he was important to the business and the WWE, and he's probably, as much as I hate to say it, but money don't lie, dude, is probably the most successful
great entertainer,
like almost ever.
He's
like
talented.
He gotta be up there with a Michael Jackson or
build?
whatever. He's got huge fucking traps too. God damn it.
Another trap.
He's
reference.
even more, dude. He's fucking, saying his prayers, eating his fucking vitamins.
I too remember like he did get a pec implant.
He did. Well, no, he had a reduction.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because his boobs were all fucking meaty. Hogan had one too, I think.
But I thought he had like that's a big thing. Like dudes will get the pec implants.
Yeah, or
it's like a breast implant for dudes,
right?
Yeah,
but no, I mean he had it reduced because his was too much, and he wanted to have more of that cut look. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay,
fucking Google it,
man. Whatevs.
Come on, JP Dub talking that shit.
Shit, Joey Whitelegs over here gonna
Joey
put you in a
Whiteleg,
chokehold.
JP Dub coming on next Musically Meditate with a steel fucking chair covered in barbed wire.
You call me out right now? You taking shots?
I'm taking fucking
we'll
shots.
take it out, motherfucker.
We're gonna take
We'll
it the fuck out. Get the fuck out!
Come at you.
Oh, we're gonna match, all right.
Yeah, I got a match. You'll
After
see,
I fucking take a
motherfucker.
shit in that bathroom, I'm gonna light a match.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with a fucking Pabst can.
Oh man, with a Pabst, I'm gonna hit you with a Pabst smear.
I'm gonna hit you with a fucking dirty
I'm gonna
Pabst smear
hit
with
you
AIDS on him.
with Nails' dirty diaper, covered in nails and M80s.
I'll just throw AIDS at your face, motherfucker.
I'll fucking swallow those AIDS and spit them back into your mouth.
Ooh. Okay. Shots fired.
Yeah, shots have been fucking fired. What do you got to say about that, Sred?
I'm really uncomfortable.
That's right. Everybody, if you don't listen, get uncomfortable.
I think you guys threatened violence to each other, and then the end was a threat of an open mouth kiss. It was what I heard.
Yeah, but with AIDS in it.
Yeah, very AIDSy.
I'm gonna give you a Freddie Mercury, motherfucker. You like to get down like Easy-E? Oh, that was bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Easy. We love you.
We love you too, Freddie.
We love you. Yeah, yeah. Freddie's
Joe
the
just
shit
crushed
too.
his can of beer.
I know. Like,
What'd you say about Easy?
Easy.
Yeah, but Freddie too. I love
Yeah,
Freddie, man.
much respect to Freddie. That have you seen the preview for the Queen movie coming out, Bohemian Rhapsody?
I've heard
Actually
about
took
it,
a picture. There's if you go on Instagram at Juice Pro Wrestling, there's one of Big Juice Stud, otherwise known as Juice the Anvil Neidhart, otherwise known as Juice Leroy II.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I want to check that out for sure.
Yeah, you want to check? He's like, right on. I want to check out that picture for sure. Get the fuck out. Hey, it's gonna sound
Conclude the
fucking
show.
great.
I'm gonna go pee my pants.
Yeah, we're going to conclude the show. One thing I do want to bring up, though, is we are going to have a Nintendo 64 WWF No Mercy tournament, which will be culminating from the Green Door Bookstore in downtown Hobart. We'll be getting at you with dates and ways to sign up and rules and all that good stuff and how much it's going to cost to get in. And don't be scared of the cost because it's all that is you're donating money to possibly win. We're not keeping any of it. We're going to give it back to whoever wins. Whoever's the fucking best of the best in the sport of digital blood.
What video game is it though?
WWF No Mercy, Nintendo 64 wrestling.
All right.
So some old school shit that used to get down on. It's really fun for all you guys out there that listen and would like to get down on that. Make sure you stop by the Green Door Bookstore, ask them about it. Hit us up on Twitter at JPDub Podcast. We're on Instagram at Juice Pro Wrestling. You can subscribe to us on any major podcasting platform under Juice Pro Wrestling. You can also go on YouTube under Juice Pro Wrestling. You kind of get out of breath when you got
So
run
many
everything.
places.
Yeah, so many places, so little time.
So many places to plug. So
many holes to fill. And
let's just plug that hole.
let's just plug the hole with cheap thrills.
Another thing. That was a good look. But make sure you plug your group page because that's a really good. Like people should pick the character that they want before they show up and
right.
and whatnot. So if you want to be the first guy to claim a character, do it on the group page and then put a video clip from YouTube. Like this is who I'm going to be. Claim it.
And
so
for sure, the one rule I do know going into it is there will be no created characters for this because it's just straight up the guys you were given. I mean, if it's different costumes, whatever. Are there a lot of characters on there? Yeah, there's a decent amount, but it can't be anybody created.
Right.
It's just your stock guys that come with the game. And if this ends up panning out, my next one I plan on doing would be a WCW versus NWO Revenge tournament, and so on and so forth. And the sky's the limit from here. But there's a lot of people I talked to that really seemed interested out in the streets and even online about doing this, and I think it'd be a really cool event.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. We'll play video games. We'll have some fucking refreshments, and
outfits are encouraged.
Yes, for sure. Dress
show
up.
your traps.
Yeah, show your traps. Show us your traps.
Show us your traps, boy. Show us your traps.
You're built like a fucking stallion, boy. I tell ya. But yeah, so that's something that's going to be coming up here soon, and we're going to be getting at you guys. Like I said, Facebook. Interact with us on the JP Woo, the Juice Pro Wrestling Universe Facebook group. Whatever the fuck you guys want to talk about.
Post some videos. It doesn't take that long.
Whatever your opinion is on what you like in wrestling, or what you did like, or what you don't like, if you fucking hate it. I mean, the door's wide open. We ain't gonna fucking hate on you.
We're not gonna keep count. We don't keep count.
Yeah, we don't keep count. There's too much of that going around. Yeah. Too many people keeping count.
Too many.
So we keep it real.
Keep it real.
I'd like to thank Joe for coming out from musically podtated Medcast, musically meditated podcast.
Yeah, man.
Another affiliate of the Green Door Network, and you can catch Joe. Where can everybody get you at?
Yeah, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, on your platforms.
I just heard Spotify.
Yeah,
too.
We're on Spotify now as well.
Don't you got some fucking T-shirts coming?
Yeah, T-shirts, stickers.
Motherfuckers can get threaded up when musically meditated.
It's all American Apparel, so it's that nice. How do you call it? Butter moist?
Like soft. The soft.
Did you say butter moist, Redden?
Butter soft.
Butter soft.
I do not.
Butters.
Know.
Oh, I don't know about
But yeah, it's nice American
What's
Apparel.
butter moist.
Butter moist. It'll breathe.
What's moist got to do with it?
Moisture, it just lets those pits breathe and those glands.
It lets those Pittsburgh.
But they're going to be, or they are, badass T-shirts, and we have stickers as well.
Do you when are these things going to be available, and where are they going to be available at?
They're going to be available within the next couple weeks.
Okay.
Slide into my DMs.
Yeah. The infamous DM.
Those DMs, just slide in if you really want one, because I know you're going to.
Dastardly menstruation.
They will be on display at S&J Records in Griffith. Same with Region Records, Green Door Books, and Tom Lounge's Record Bin, and probably Grindhouse, maybe Fluid too. Yeah. Grindhouse in Griffith and Fluid in Valpo.
It will also be prominently displayed across Stretton's chest.
Yeah. And then,
such a massive chest. I think we have to make a special order.
Yeah, but they're cool. Cat, or what is it?
Cat Stevens?
No, fuck that guy.
Catfishing Stevens?
That's really good. I do. Yeah, they'll be around. So just slide into my DMs. On Instagram. I'm usually on Instagram.
So my dick slides in.
There's a group page as well. So
what's the group page?
Musically Meditated Podcast Listeners.
Yeah, MMPL.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Get on it.
Maple.
Share your music, but all the proceeds of these T-shirts, it's going to go to the Gary, Indiana Humane Society.
Cool.
Yeah.
Save them mutts.
No, for sure. Yeah, that's where it's all going. So, yeah.
Sponsored by Tuco Ronaldo Riley.
Yeah, Tuco Ronaldo Riley, my
unsung hero.
Yeah, he is the unsung hero. He's the podcast mascot.
Yeah.
But at any rate, yeah, he is from Gary. He's,
He's OG.
48th in Kentucky.
He's OG
Glen Park. I can tell you.
Yeah.
He's OG. He's OG. He's from the hood. So to give back to, that particular Humane Society is a big deal because for whatever reason, people are really drawn to, and not that it's a bad thing, but Lakeshore Falls and Valpo, I get it, but a lot of dogs get forgotten about.
Well, yeah, because it's the area.
Yeah.
And
the area isn't the nicest.
Sad.
And it's sad. So that's where all the proceeds are going to go. So please check it out. Purchase the T-shirt and the stickers, and all that money's going to go to dogs.
We can get to you on, like you said, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
We're going to do a big cartel I wanted to talk about that with you later. I don't know if you could help me out with that, but that would be great.
Yeah.
So it's a limited run though, so please
get on it soon as shit's gonna fucking sell.
I already got a bunch out the door.
A lot of pre-orders are already fucking gone.
Yeah, koozies are coming and shit like that, but
koozies for those floozies.
Yeah, all them floozies. oh man. All those harlots and all those floozies.
Hey, they just for fun, man.
And those Jezebels.
Those Jezebels.
Jezebels.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Joe?
Thanks,
fucking, you know what time it is. For Sretton the Savage, for Joey Whitelegs, this is Juice the Anvil Neidhart. This was episode 13
Crystal clean, no caffeine.
and all the fucking obscene. Hey, it's time to wet 'em up.
Wet 'em up.
Wet 'em up.
Wet 'em up.
Wet 'em up. Wet 'em up.
Dude.
Thank you.